Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. Coaches, the JAMODI podcast is powered by Shoot 360. The future of basketball has arrived in Dallas-Fort Worth. Shoot 360 combines the latest sports technology with the fundamentals of basketball skill development. The result is a one-of-a-kind video game-like basketball program designed to improve your shooting, dribbling, and passing. Visit shoot360dfw.com to learn more and register for your free 1-hour workout evaluation. Shoot 360, the future of basketball is here.
You said something earlier about the culture of your program affecting the whole school.
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting idea. I love the culture that we have at Faith. I think we fight for it really hard each day, but I don't know how much it bleeds out and affects the whole student community. I know at Baylor, the culture of joy that men's basketball has and the culture that the athletic director there has created, all of those sports and coaches support each other. It's like one thing, but I would like to be better at that. What are some ways that you felt like your culture did affect the entire school?
Well, I think the one thing that you said a while ago, we go support everyone, showing the student body that if these young men who you all are seeing via social media and all of the things that they are receiving post-secondary opportunities, if they are present and they are loud, prideful, and unique to the team component, we want all of you all to be here. And then another thing is just the leadership capacity, right? We want these young men to be leaders in the classroom. We want them to be leaders on the floor. We want them to be leaders at our feeder elementaries that we go to. So every Friday we go to our feeder elementaries. We go to our middle schools every Wednesday. So the leadership that they're able to manifest amongst the community, I think those are things that make them unique when you talk about the you in culture. But then the thing that I most pride myself with when we talk about culture is just positive energy. When we put out positive energy to other individuals, I told the boys today, the campus has been a little, they're settling in and there are many things that are happening. I'm like, just share some love. Share some love, share some positive energy to other individuals on the campus. And I asked the boys at the end of I'm going to ask them at the end of the day, how many people did you tell them that you love? How many people did you tell that you cared about them today? Those are the things that identify culture for us. It's not even basketball. It's not the basketball piece. It's all of those things. The unity, it's the commitment, it's the uniqueness, it's the teamwork, and then ultimately it's the energy that we put out to other people that we want to receive back in a positive way. And I think it's just that has trickled throughout the campus. And when, you see Stony Point basketball now, there's a sense of pride. There's a sense of urgency. There's a sense of togetherness and winning. And I think that's such a positive thing that we've been able to manifest over the last couple of years.
I completely agree with you. And I want to ask this question for those coaches that aren't like you. And the reason I say that is you're charismatic. Your passion comes right through. Like I watched it in the videos, and sometimes when you watch those videos, those documentaries, you're kind of like, I don't know, is that really him? Is that or anybody? Is that real? Right. And man, you've sold me so far on this really being who you are and the joy that you have for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Gannon Baker said you can't coach something that you don't possess. If somebody doesn't feel like you or doesn't maybe have that presence, how do they cultivate that? How do they grow that? Like get to the point where they're maybe so uncomfortable that they get comfortable, like Steve Nash said. What are your thoughts? Because to me, I'm not saying it's easy for you to create the environment that you've done, but it seems like you possess that ability.
I think it's, like, and I really take that as a really good compliment. I do, because so many people see my passion as a negative connotation, or they see it as something that they just wouldn't do. But my passion is my love. My passion is my drive. My passion is my why. So, like, to this question, I think, coaches can just identify, your why, but how much are you identifying with that why on a day-to-day basis? You know that you are here to serve these scholar athletes on a day-to-day basis, but are you meeting your why? And I know when I wake up every day, I'm prepared, I'm punctual, I'm present. And within that presence, that passion is going to continue to come out, because I love my why. And if I don't identify with loving my why, I'm discrediting these young men that I am serving. I'm discrediting my coaches that I am coinciding with to lead with. But within this passion, it's something that is a deliverable that God has given me and God has placed me with. But it's a tool of mine that I've always been. I've used it when I was a player. I've used it in fatherhood. I've used it as a husband. I've used it in various opportunities within my life to continue to revolve the why. I know the why, but if the why is still the same it was a month ago, it's not revolving. And when I'm not revolving, the kids aren't revolving. So the passion is all a deliverable to extracting the best of my why. And I think many coaches can just, be a strong suit in mastering that why every day.
I think that's pretty powerful. I think that cuts through to a point where it'll be convicting. Like, I know it's convicting for me. One of the biggest things I had to do years ago at coming to faith was really redefine my why, because I think early on you have a good season as a younger coach, and you start to do the math of, what, if I have 20 win seasons and I do this for 40 years, man, I may have like 8, you start to do these things where that type of goal or why can easily take over. But then you have to get back to really what we're doing here. And I always love the idea of the why. Phil Beckner said that you can't teach feel. And I think it's kind of the same thing as what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. So if you can't teach feel, well, then how do you get feel? Feel for when to call a timeout, feel for when to sub, feel for when to make a change. Trial and error. You learn. You fail sometimes. You lose some games. You have some moments where you're like, I can't believe I just did that. And then you apologize to your team. And my last point is, I think you can get your style, because nobody needs to be exactly like you. Nobody has to be like me. I'm not like others. But you find confidence in your style through trial and error and over time.
Yeah. And to that point, we have 4 losses in 2 years, and I've learned so much more in those 4 losses than any of the, 70 something wins in the last 2 years. The reason I say that is because I feel like I failed the 12 kids on the 21-22, on the 22-23 team, and then I failed the 23-24 team. So me being able to learn how to be better for player 1 to player 13, or player 1 to player 12, that is the strong suit of the why, or the passion, or the experience. Just the experience alone of where did I come short? Why didn't I listen to this? How could I be better here? Was there a moment where I should have took this rotation and went here? Those are the things that I particularly break down and master, right? Because I don't want to do that again. And that's how my brain works. But in order for me to be the very best for this program and for this community, I have to be the best learner. And if I'm not the best learner, then I'm not the best leader for this program.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.